Hey guys, good morning. Welcome to War Barn. I am Jim. I restore Axis World War II vehicles. Coming here, I want to show you something a little bit different. Although mainly working on my vehicles, I do have a few cannons as well. Last video was on Opel Blitz and the Flak cannon was on the back. When I was at my storage facility, I realized that some of the accessory kits, containers, extra parts, all of that was kind of sitting there basically for many years. So I took a look at it. The stuff needed to be wiped down. So I said, you know what, let's take a look at this. Let's bring this stuff all home. I'm gonna clean it up, wipe it down, and while I got it out, I'm gonna share these items with you. So come on here. So when I bought this Flak cannon many years ago, this was one of them that were made at the Mauser factory, made in Germany, but during the war was shipped to Portugal. So all this stuff has, most of the stuff has the German markings, and then it was overpainted by the Portuguese. So let's go through what I have here, because I basically forgot. Take a look at number one here. So we have here is a box, kind of a standard kind of an opening here. And here, well, this is kind of self-explanatory. This is for the 2 centimeter Flak 38. I'm not sure if this is for the barrel or what exactly to use for it, but this is definitely specifically for the Flak cannon. Kind of a cool thing. So inside of here are these straps. So what are these straps for? Okay, I don't have the cannon trailer here right now, but what these are for are on the trailer, when the men are moving it into position, there's a hook on either fender. So what they would do is they would put this on. One guy would hook onto the hook here, another guy would hook onto it there, and they could pull it. It's another means of force, manpower, so to speak, and turn it into position. So I guess I got 2 of these, which would make sense, one for each side. And I'm glad I pulled them out because these are getting a little bit rusty. So I need to kind of like brush these off, put some WD on there so it doesn't get worse. What's interesting is this seems to be like a gray color or Air Force blue. So I'm not sure if all forces got that when one manufacturer just made all these straps in one color for all the branches, or were they that particular? Who knows? I think this cannon's dated 42, so that's that. Let's see what else is in there. So there is some other ropes in here. Looks like the similar hook is the straps that pull the Flak trailer into position. Okay, these are ropes. I'm not sure exactly where they connect to, but it has a little locking mechanism. So it looks like this could go on to, not even sure. Maybe hook onto another. Maybe there's 4 people that move this into place. Even though I've had this for many years, I'm still learning about it. There's a lot of idiosyncs, a lot of accessories, and we're gonna go through this. So there's a couple of these. So this container contains these 4 straps. 2 I know what they're for. 2 I do not know what they're for. And if you notice this one here, it has the original Dunkel Gray paint on there. And it looks like this was repainted some kind of 2-tone color, or maybe 3-tone color, because on the top here it looks like it's brown. And like I said, another reason why I'm bringing this home is to clean these off, dust them off, and maybe put some a thin coating of oil on there. I believe these markings here kind of like tell the person who's looking for whatever specific tool or utensil, whatever you want to call it, to help guide them, because these 4 boxes are basically on the outside exactly the same. Now, since this is from Portugal, I highly suspect that these were added, after they got to Portugal, and these might symbolize something in Portuguese. So let's take a look at the second one here. Dang, let's put this one back. Now, I'm not sure if these are in original boxes, how this stuff was split up. Some of these boxes have like an inventory list, which I'll show you soon. Some of them do not. All right, and there we go. So let's take a look at the next one up. R, not sure what that means. This one has some, obviously, completely different set of kit. This looks like an early plastic, potentially oiler, greaser. And again, if I am incorrect, hey, let me know. I'd like to learn what this is. So this cap comes off, you pour some kind of liquid in there, and looks like you pump this, stick this in someplace, and you could drip, or by pumping it up, push some kind of liquid slash or grease in there. Not sure what this is, some kind of adapter. Looks like a dial, maybe it's an extra dial for, I have no idea what that could be for. So there's two of those. There is this wire. I am thinking this is possibly for a cleaning kit. Put it through the barrel. And guys, that's one of the things I did not bring is the actual barrel. So I do have one barrel deactivated, of course, for the Canon. I do have a practice barrel as well. The practice barrel is something I picked up, after the fact. What's the difference between a practice barrel and a regular barrel? The practice barrel serves two purposes. It's easier to make, doesn't wear out, it's not rifled, and the flash hider actually has blades on it. So when you're shooting these practice rounds that are wood tip, the round goes through this special flash hider and chips it up, so somebody can't technically get hurt. Although it does sound pretty dangerous, you still wouldn't want to point that at somebody. So I'm suspecting this is some kind of cleaning kit, cleaning cable that you push slash push pull through the barrel to clean it off. And guys, I haven't seen some of this stuff in I think 15, maybe 20 years. This has been sitting here for a long time. So it's kind of like a little kid on Christmas Day, revisiting stuff, rediscovering. Okay, so here we have, this is a grease attachment. This goes onto the standard German grease fittings of the time, hooks onto here, and then here is the grease pump. So, all right, this seems pretty standard. I've seen these for other vehicles, other items. This is in excellent condition. I'm not sure if the Portuguese redid it, although some of these items in here are original, so it may very well be the original item. This is pretty fresh. Maybe, maybe not. Who cares? It's still cool. I don't see any acceptance stamps on there, so this could be something utilized by the Portuguese. Let's check out this here. And what this is, it's basically a nut. You pull it out, put it on whatever bolt you need to loosen, and there's typically a hole through there. Through the hole, you put a bar, and then you could turn it like a wrench. Another wrench here, and this is kind of tight, so it makes me suspect this is not original. But lo and behold, there is an Army acceptance stamp. So this is the genuine article right here. WAA with the eagle on top of it, which I believe is one of the specific makers of this cannon. I've seen it on rifles too, so that would make sense. So that one's real. This one maybe not. You can see different finishes. Perhaps one got lost, they replaced it with whatever they had, and there you have it. What else do we have? Oil cans. I'm not sure if these are remarked by the Portuguese or not. OEL, that sounds German, okay? WR, I'm not sure what that stands for. This one's kind of munged up. This has definitely been repainted. This looks like it's been repainted, and there you have it. There are some cleaning brushes. I'm not sure if this is period or not, but it sure fits just about perfect in there. So here's are the cleaning brushes. And that would make sense that it's in this particular box with this cable. So this probably simply loops on there. You pull it through, okay? There's that brush. Let's take a look at all of these. This one's here. Looks like it's the same. This one here actually has some bristles in the middle. So I've never seen nothing like that before. If I did see it, it was 15, 20 years ago, last time I opened this, and I don't remember. Anyhow, not sure what this is. Some kind of specialized tool, maybe to clean the bore out. Looks like it might expand. I'll have to take a look at that later. Another one of these funky tools. And look at that. this is original wartime. It's got the acceptance stamp on it as well. So that's definitely part of the kit, original kit. This one's part of the original kit. The brushes, I can't say. I would think that this thing, even if it wasn't used in combat, that they test fired it, they fired it, they practiced with it, and they had to clean it. So these look basically brand new or very, very little wear.
Let me see that mark again.
Oh, sure, sure.
Great.
Cool. Very well. So I'm going to put this stuff back in there. Guys, if you ever have any questions, I have this stuff at home. I can take other shots of it. Be glad to interact, help out, educate other restorers and modelers. A lot of modelers are interested in these kind of pieces as well. So let's see, that goes here. Goes in here. These oil cans are going in here. So this little kit here has a lot more stuff than the other one. Of course, those straps are pretty long and they're pretty beefy. So I just got to remember how this goes. Okay. All right, we'll close that up and we'll go to the next one. E, not exactly sure what that stands for. It looks like the Portuguese put some specific markings on there to identify this. Okay, so let's see, what do we have here? Electrical connection. I'm not sure what that's for, if that's for the sighting computer. The connections are a little bit different than the lighting, at least the lighting devices that I'm familiar with, so there's that.
Let me get a shot of this.
Sure, sure. Oh, yeah, oh, very good point. This toolbox actually has, and it does appear like the original label, some kind of a table of contents, a menu, so to speak, and some of the stuff has been translated to Portuguese. Not this one. This one is actually in German. Inhalts Verzeichnis. And if I'm butchering that language, I apologize, but there you go. It is what it is. Okay. This, I believe, is when you're changing the barrel. And it's stiff. I think this might have been repainted. It looks like it's dirty. And I should stay away because this is usually asbestos. So that, I might actually put some gear on and take that out and put something more modern. But this looks like a barrel clamp. Boom. Barrel's hot. Loosen it up with the wrench. Take it off. Grab the cool one. Put the cool one on. See, I'm already coughing. This looks like a broken shell extractor, possibly. Okay. Oh. And this one has some kind of, looks to me kind of hard to see, but it does look like a wartime marking. So it looks like this would go in a broken shell, and as you pull it through, it's going to widen it so you can get a hold of that broken shell and pull it out of the barrel. A little mitt here. Not sure if that's wartime or not. Let's take a look at this. Well, there you go. I don't think this is a reproduction. I think it's the genuine article, but there you go. There's the German word for army or military here, H-E-E-R. So I'm not sure if this is originally a towel for this kit or if this is just like a barracks towel and they just threw it in here or what, but it does appear to me, the little that I know, to be the genuine article. Something that's not readily available. Not sure what this is. Actually, I think I got it backwards, probably to clean out the bore. See how it's tapered, probably to clean out the bore itself. Here is another one. Looks like slightly used. But hey, that's what it's for, right? To keep these things in good, clean, working condition so they don't jam when you're in combat or in the field. Okay. Rope. I think I'm going to leave that exactly like that. That looks like that's been sitting there tied up in this fashion for decades. Not sure what that's for. This one, very similar. Looks like it, even though it looks like it's darker, doesn't look like it's necessarily dirty. Looks like it maybe just the way it was. Small oiler can. This type is a World War II type. No markings, I'm not sure. Pliers. I don't see any markings, but they definitely look vintage. They look old, And even though there's a little bit of surface rust on there, it looked like they were never used. Of course, it could be Portuguese as well, not sure. These tools look like they're more specific for the weapon at hand. Another one just like that. Screwdriver, not sure why that's red if it's post-war, but it's definitely looks vintage, right? Looks like it was never used. Even though there's a little bit of rust and dirt on there, again, I need to take care of this stuff and be sure to keep the conditions good. Another set of pliers. This has a dove on there, so I'm not sure if that's a wartime maker. Maybe I can take a picture of that later. I'll go to Google Lens it sometime and see if I can get any information. Of course, if I can get a picture of the menu that's supposed to be in a specific can, that would tell me if this is along the lines of the original equipment or not. Okay, there's a mark. There's a lot more. Another broken shell extractor, possibly. Looks like some kind of generic chisel block, but it looks like brand new. This is an oiler. You put oil in there, and somehow this squirts out of there. I'm not exactly sure, but here's the date and a maker code. So I'm not sure if it was 1940, 41 that they switched over to a 3-digit code. The 3-digit code stood for the factory, and then they put the date after it. So this was made in 1942, and this is a greaser / oiler. So obviously there's different kind of oilers, probably for fine pieces, you know, really thin oil, bigger oil, and then maybe the other oilers were for grease. Not sure. So give me a minute while I try to put all this stuff back in here, and we'll move on to the next item. And as you can see, this is kind of getting dirty from sitting in the same place for 10 plus years. I need to wipe this down, and I need to keep it for the next person who ends up having this. Okay. This one appears to be in really good original condition and paint. Doesn't look like it was painted over, maybe just the markings added by the Portuguese. This one definitely doesn't look factory, so this is definitely added. You see why my suspicion is there, and same with this. That doesn't look like a Germanic letter R as well. So another cloth, not sure if it's original. Another barrel wrench, okay. And this does have the Waffenop down there. So this is a wartime wrench, and most likely specifically for this Flak can. It could be used for the Flak 30. From what I understand, the Flak 30, the barrel and the firing mechanism was the same, but when it came to the Flak 38, it was a little bit more refined, more balanced. So that's kind of cool. Here again, here's some oil cans. This one, I'm not sure if they went with this tin or this stainless steel, but that tends to be, as far as I know, OEL, the German spelling for oil. This one says WS, this one says WR. I'm not sure if they were issued different grades of oil. Maybe one was for summer, maybe one oil was for winter, which is something that they did on quite a few things. Even optical sights, they had one for winter, they had one for summer sometimes. So let's put this wrench back in here. Let's put this cloth back in here. Let's put this one in here too. All right, what's up next to bat? Let's see what we got here. Come over here. I'll tell you what this is for. This is for the Flak Vizier, okay? The Flak sight. But I want to show you here, different kind of hooks, but it has these little locking mechanisms here, so you can't just open it up. Now, I'm not sure if this was designed to mount in a vehicle and they were concerned about it, you know, in transit, bumping, being shot at, the ground shaking, if they were worried about this coming off, I don't know. So what we have here is the Flak Vizier. I'm trying to see here if this is in Portuguese or if this is in German. So this kind of, I don't know either language, but Vigros Grandora, that kind of seems to be something non-German. So this menu list here was definitely replaced by the Portuguese.
That looks Portuguese.
Yeah. Yeah, and my multilingual cameraman here, you've been in Portugal, haven't
Yes,
you? A little
yes.
bit of a side story, but hey, at least I got somebody who's got some cred here, knows what he's talking about. Okay, so hey, you know what? Let's start top to bottom. What do we have here? We have this flap, and wow, is that cool? Looks like there's cleaning paper still here, original. Looks like there's some extra bulbs in here, original. And I don't even remember, there's some extra screws here. One fell off and is over here. There's extra screws, cleaning paper, different size lenses, and a little spring-loaded box within the top of the box. This is just felt. So while we're on that, here's the felt. This is for the ground target sight. Now I do have the mount that goes on there. Where it went, I don't know. So anyhow, I thought the optics on this were trashed, but they're not that bad. So there you go. So I might as well go through this too. I'm going to go through everything that I can. There is, and I don't have it here, a little light that goes on top of here. And what that does is when it connects to the battery, flip a switch, and you actually could illuminate the reticle and the gradations. So if it's, twilight, dawn, dark, shooting up in the sky at the B1RDs, you can utilize that. Although this is more for a ground target site. And you can see where this is supposed to slide into the box by the dovetail mount that somehow I misplaced. And that's what would hold that into there. So I'm gonna leave that out. Here is the rubber eye cup that actually oh, here it goes. I'm glad I took that out. We'll get to that in a second. Here is that piece I was talking about. 3-digit code for a wartime manufacturer. This goes on to here. This would go on to here. And now that would illuminate the reticle. Of course, we can't see too good with this camera. This needs to be cleaned up, and the optics just might need to be refurbished, but it is what it is. So before we get to the Flak sight itself, there's a little accessory kit in here with extra lenses. So what are these lenses for? Let's see. This is ellipsing glass. So it's an elliptical sight. That might be German, and there is the elliptical markings. Okay. So it's a refractive sight. That's kind of cool. That one I'm definitely not going to use. We'll leave in there. And I think there's different gradients of reflection. That one I can't get out. But here's another one. Let's take a look at this one. Oh, this is the semi-mirror. So the targeting system will reflect on this as you look out. So these are actually, on this side, are the semi-mirrors. I want to pull up a different lens here to show you that they are indeed darker here. Okay, here we go. So if you're shooting at, you're shooting at sights and they're coming out of the sun, so to speak. I got my fingerprints all over it. Here's a darker sight with some tinting on there. And there's some, I think, towards the back that are even darker. And this reminds me of my Flak binoculars that actually have built-in different lenses. So on the Flak binoculars, when you're trying to get distancing, speed using the Flak binoculars, there is an internal adjustment as you're looking through the scope. You turn them, and these actually pop in front of the glass automatically. Here, it's more of a manual system. So here is the refractive Flak Visier sight. So I haven't played with this in many years, but this should pop off right here, and you can see the lenses in there. I'm glad I took this off because these lenses are dirty. So you look through here, you're going to see a reflection of that targeting system, but you're still able to see through there and see your target. Of course, I apologize, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, everybody else watching, that these are so filthy. So they would simply pull back, pop out, put a new one in there. Let's toy with this a little bit. So there's your, yeah, again, these come out. I have replacements. Here's the clear sight. So I am slightly mistaken. I'm learning, basically, guys, as I go through this. Here's the clear sight with the targeting. Here is the lens in the back that has the sunscreen on there. Okay. Here's a light that illuminates that. There's a battery inside of here. And remember that wire we had previous? This is where it plugs in. So that wire is made to light up the flak visor. I'll call it flak visor because I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce it in German. Here is where the dovetail mount will go for the ground sight. So the ground sight will mount right next to the air sight simultaneously. Of course, if you don't need this, you might put that out of the way. This is how you lock that wire in there. And that's about it. I believe there's stuff you can do on the inside of here as far as cleaning the bulb. There's refractive material like a light bulb inside to shine this light into your sighting system. So I'll leave that out for a minute. Let's see if I can put this back on correctly. So it goes back like this, locks in like that, and clips into place. And there you go. I'll leave that out for a minute. So yeah, pretty extensive accessory kit. I'm pretty happy that I got it when I got it. If you look down in here, there's all kinds of different felt here for the back of the sight. This is where this goes. I had it just kind of hanging in there, and we'll put that there. And of course, once I get the dovetail will mount this correctly in here. So for right now, I'm just kind of sticking it in there, and then holding it in place as I close it onto that piece of felt. So here is, guys, now I'm messing with this. The right side lenses, you can just push from underneath and pull them out, and there's a little indentation here, which is really kind of cool. Okay, and there's actually, then I see what this hole is for. Again, as I'm going through this, I'm learning about it, and as I learn about it, showing you. So there you go. If I want to pull up the different lenses, push my hole through there, pull them up, and if I want to pull up a different clear lens, or should I say half mirror, that's how you would do that. Now my hands are dirty, so I'm not going to go digging in there. This felt is pretty clean, so I think it's just better to leave it well enough alone. But you get the idea, guys, right? All right, so let's turn around. There's a couple more boxes. So I was saying, what I don't have is the extra spare barrel kit. They came with 2 extra barrels in a long metal box. There might have been accessories for the barrels themselves. I'm not sure if the flash hider was an extra flash hider, or each barrel had a flash hider. All things I'm not aware of, but it did come with these items here. So one thing I want to take a look at is a far look over here. If you take a look at this flak visor, it does look like it's an original paint. So I got to be careful when I manhandle this, because this looks like it was inside of that box for decades, and it looks like this interior paint on the box matches this. So this is basically in unissued condition. So what do we got going here? Looks like we have another cleaning tool. Okay, it looks like a pull-through device. Looks like a mop, I think. I'm not sure if that's for this or what this is for. This looks kind of big for this. Maybe this was for, I don't know, 5 centimeter cannon. I'm not sure. Maybe this is correct for this. This looks more like of a butter dish. This one's broken. Maybe I could find another one. This is kind of thing that I could probably find a cheap one for $20 to $30. Replace it and feel happy that, hey, you know what? It's called Schweifa Bluta. So anybody want to tell me what it is? Hey, make some comments down below. Schweifa Bluta. Okay. All right. So some more rags, and I didn't remember that these actually had markings on there, which is kind of cool. This one says the same thing. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? H-E-R-R. Do I have it the right way? Oh. So these might actually be genuine World War II rags. A rag, original rag, huh? Yeah, maybe I should just leave that folded up. Maybe it's originally folded up like that. So let's see what else we got here. I suspect, I shouldn't say new made by the Portuguese, because if they made this decades ago. So let's see what we got here. We have some kind of grease can. All right, original grease. Okay, kind of cool. And here's like that one tool that I didn't pull out on the other toolkit. I said you just stick a bar through there, you stick it on the kind of like a socket. Once it's on there, you can go ahead and turn it. And there's a fine example of how you would do that. turn it. If you can't turn it no more, I guess you could pull it out. Do something like that. If you have free range, you can just tighten it or loosen it any way you need to. Original or not, this is kind of cool, and it definitely serve the purpose for display or reenactment or what have you. Not sure what this is for at all. So kind of interesting. I'm trying to think. I really don't have any idea. I think this might be for the base, possibly. Now this is a tool, I believe, slash lifting handle. So we'll have a little bit of what do you call a wrench there, and this is basically a wrench too. I think this attaches somewhere, and some people looks like a carrying device for other barrels. So that's my initial guess. Of course, warrants further research, but I have a feeling that this is definitely made for a cannon. If not this cannon, a similar cannon. I don't see any markings on it, and so we'll just wrap that up for right now. Put this stuff back really quick. That's probably why it broke. Somebody probably slammed it on there. I don't see the pieces in there. I don't see the chunks, so I don't think that was done by me. So, all right. So let's see here. Last box. Accessory kit, extra parts. So this one here, it appears that just may very well be the master list, possibly even original. I'm not going to pull it out with my dirty hands because this is in good condition. Maybe some other time I'll clean my hands and pull it out and take a look at it. But what do we have here? On the outside looks like extra firing pins, extra springs, extra, not sure what this is. Looks like something for the recoil, maybe extractor, another device. I'm not exactly sure for what that's for. This is actually the spring buffer, an extra spring. So I have 2 of those. I'm not sure what this is. I think this is a bunch of little extra springs, little, what do you call them? These are roll pins. So roll pins, specialized fasteners, etc. So I got a whole container of those. That's kind of nice to have. Again, springs here, different types of spring, coil spring. This is a spring of different sort, some tiny springs here. So this is probably for the extractor, that type of thing. Okay. Amazing that these fit in here, and there's actually a hole that fits the end of the spring down into there. I don't know if you can see that there.
Yep.
So there it is. All right, it goes in there. Not sure what this is actually marked DG. This looks like some kind of piece paved, possibly for the extractor, and that's really cool. Little tiny, and this is what why the Germans lost the war. Thank God, they had to mark everything. So there you go. There's the little markings, and we will put those back. I mean, just to make this box, all the work is just crazy, crazy, crazy. This looks like locking lugs for the extractor, possibly. So. But wait, there's more. It dices for a price of $14.99. Anyhow, that shows you how my age. That was an old commercial for the Ginsu, I think, or Ronco. But anyway, a little bit off track there, guys. Bottom row here, more parts. Parts is parts. Some of the stuff I have no idea what it's for. I'm glad I have it though, nonetheless. This I do know what it's for. So with this cannon, when you go to cock it, you're going to cock it with this lever. It ties into the bolt through the receiver, and you pull to go ahead and cock it. And this is an extra one. So if the one that's on the receiver, which mine doesn't work because it's completely activated, but if, hypothetically, if you need another one, here it is. So these are kind of marked nicely, C13, C4. I don't think they marked it at the factory. Probably the Portuguese did that. So little bits and pieces there. Forgot there's anything underneath. No, that's about it. Here is an extra bolt. So that's really cool. That shows the rolling block mechanism. Okay. So this is an extra bolt. Hey, firing pin in there, extractor lugs, kind of basically all there. Kind of a neat thing. neat parts to have. So, of course, I just got to put it in there correctly. There we go. Can't be retracted. That needs to be all out. And there we go. Guys, thanks for going through my inventory with me. I love looking at this stuff. I love talking about this stuff. The only thing is, you got all this stuff, guys, you got to upkeep. You got to have a place for it. You can't just let it sit. As you can see, it starts collecting dust. This, I'm not sure if this rust was here or not before, but I'm going to put some WD on there, wipe it off, and keep it from getting any worse. Any comments, guys? Thanks for going with me on my little journey today, my little exploratory adventure here. Love talking about this stuff, love learning about this stuff, and as you can see, even though I own one of these, I don't know everything. There's a lot to learn. Any comments on the masters of this, please let me know. I got a link down there below for Patreon. If any guys are interested in supporting this hobby, feel free. Love talking to you guys. Feel free with any questions, comments. Like to hear from you. Guys, have a great Friday. Have a great weekend. Ciao for now from War Barn.